Dragon Ball Legends has been making a huge mistake in terms of power creep since basically forever. But I think the problem became more and more evident as the years went on. And since I think roughly around the fourth anniversary mark, it has become um, something that can't be ignored, of course. But it's mainly because of the mistakes the designing developer teams have made with the characters themselves, at the point at which they are forced to actually sort of just overcome the power creep by introducing new power creeps, right? So like the only way you're going to beat a character is by getting even a crazier mechanic in or something. So I'll just discuss here five of the craziest characters that I just think were mistakes to be released in this game. First is, of course, the Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I am not able to put him in my team here because, of course, I don't have him. So, the main issue with him, apart from AoE Green and whatnot, is simply his blast armor blast card. Like, it's insane. Um, it sort of shuts down any, like, not any but many plays that you have against blast cards. So it's not the craziest thing, but in if you like keep in mind what else the character does, his AoE greens and counter blue card whatnot, he was, in my opinion, a mistake. Even though he was a very hype release, I don't think that it was particularly healthy for the game. The other character would be this MUI Goku. So he is, yeah, he was also a pretty big mistake, like the auto counter gauge, which deals damage as well. Um, I mean, I understand why they did this. It's true to the character and all, but should have reduced the damage significantly, like reduce it by 50% or something. This is like what he did on release, and to be honest, if you give him a couple of Zenkai buffs even today, he deals a lot of damage. And it's not just him, the mechanic in itself is not very nice. Like if you just simply see the newest UI Goku, things are also same there. um, so apart from him, we have this Gogeta. Now this Gogeta I'm putting here because he was sort of the first character whose gauge resulted in a counter, in the sense that it was a damage based gauge. You fill it up and then you blast a card and you just are going to get hit. So better versions of that gauge exist now, of course, but it all started with him. So yeah, not a very healthy release. Although this ultra is probably not as toxic as most other ultras of this day. I think almost all other ultras after him have definitely been more toxic. But yeah, still doesn't mean that he was a healthy release. And yeah, Majin Vegeta, I think I'm a big fan of this unit. Fan in the sense that Vegeta clan had been waiting for a W for a long time in terms of the units in this game, and this unit was very good for them. That doesn't mean he was healthy for the game, for better or for worse, because, well, again, AoE Green is one of the single most toxic mechanics in the entire game. He obviously has that. His lock-in gauge is also pretty annoying. He has too many tools. Like the main issue with him is he, if it was not for the new power creep that the developer team is doing based on pure stats, This character would almost never age unless you get like a hyperactive red unit which is based solely to counter him or something. Because he is doing so many things. He's getting tight null on his green if his gauge is full. He has a counter gauge which also locks you in, by the way. It's insane. Uncancelable endurance. Yeah. Not not very healthy, right? And the last character we are going to be talking about is this one, the Ultra Turles. Now the issue here is that his comeback is too much. Like it shuts you down completely, and it like 99% guarantees you a priority, right? Um, you reduce your opponent's key, you remove their vanish and whatnot. It's a bit too much in my opinion. Like if you had removed their vanish, then maybe not reduce the key by that much. Maybe just destroy cards or something. That is better than key reduction, in my opinion, because of card draw speeds and whatnot. But yeah, I will say this though, that he's maybe not as toxic as the first LF uh, Ultra Instinct Goku or the Ultra Majin Vegeta, but he's definitely more toxic than someone like Gogeta Blue, right? So there are other characters as well which have been very toxic, but then there have been examples of characters which have been very healthy, even though they have been pretty broken. Like for example, I think this Vegeta right here is a good example of a healthy-ish character. There's nothing really toxic about him, right? He has good mechanics. He has revive, and after revive, his green card helps in vanish restoration. So nothing bad actually. And then this guy, I think, is not toxic at all. I mean, he is overpowered. He was rather on release, but yeah, he was a good example of a balanced character. He had his indestructible, but he wasn't doing anything oppressive to the game. And another small example would be this guy. He was one of my favorite units. He still is to this day. Even after Zenka, he's not at all toxic. Like his green card is helping him before revival, and after revival, of course, his he has enough mechanics to stay in the game. This is a good example of a balanced unit actually. Um, Before revive, he has some defensive mechanics with health restoration and vanish restoration, greens and stuff like that. Type null on mail, main ability. After revive, of course, his gauge is pretty useful and his damage is anyways good. So similarly for other colors, I think this is not at all a toxic unit. Is not exactly very good, but something that you have to keep in mind is to keep the units a bit healthy for the game. Uh, he was not at all toxic, apart from the sense that he totally shut down Gogeta, the Ultra Gogeta from the previous anniversary. So yeah. In terms of purples, I think yeah, maybe purple has always been a little toxic, I guess. Not in the recent times though. Recent times purple is not getting much love. And for blue, I think this Goku was he was not a very cool unit. He was not bad, there's nothing new about him, so not very cool, but not toxic. He was not much toxic. Um, this was definitely a very, very good release, Android 17. Although his vanishing gauge was pretty annoying, but comparing some of the things we've seen since then, yeah, not toxic at all. So yeah, that will just be the end of this video. Um, let me know if I've missed characters, because I think I'm pretty sure I've missed many. This was just an overview of some of the characters that have impacted the game in the long run. Like,
さて、
um,
一丁行くぜ
this Gogeta was the start of auto counter gauges alongside the Mastered UI Goku, and Vegeta and Turles are just examples of two characters that can completely shut down an attack. And Vegeta, of course, has combos that just go on forever. So, yeah, that will be it for this short discussion video. Um, I do think Legends is headed in a slightly healthier direction, with them saying that they're more focused on like general power creep using pure numbers. That doesn't mean we'll not be getting stupidly broken mechanics. We've already gotten a few this anniversary. So yeah, that will be it for this one. Until next time.